So young Cassius is gone, and will bother us no more. Good riddance, I say. Such a pompous ass that boy was. Here's the money I promised. But I owe you a lot more than what I paid you. You must forgive an old man his habits, so I'd like you to take a look at this. Feng carefully unwraps a small bundle and shows you a ring. It's a heavy silver ring covered with softly glowing runes. Ooh! While the metal feels cold to touch, the glowing runes burn your fingertips. It's the famous magic ring of General Galbo, explains Feng. The ring was crafted by the Council of Magi to grant the general special powers, which made him unstoppable in battle. After the general's death, the ring was thought to be lost and hasn't been seen for centuries. Isildur lost it. It is, without a doubt, one of the most important relics of the Empire, and its reappearance is a great omen. I'd give it to you for free, but I'm a poor old man. 100 Imperials is all I'm asking for it. What the hell, so he gives me money, and then he asks us back. What? Hello, Retroburn here with another random round video where we play a game from 5 to 50 minutes, and this time we are taking a look at the Age of Decadence. I think this is a turn-based CRPG along the lines of Baldur's Gate and other classics. And I say I think because I actually didn't buy this game. A Steam friend named Sin gave this to me, so a big thanks to her. Thank you, Sin, for giving me this excellent game. So I've long listed this on my wish list because it's very intriguing in the sense that it claims that you can do whatever you want to, and that combat is not the first choice in every encounter. So you're not obliged to, kill everyone you see or every monster you encounter, just like some murder hobo in some Dungeons and Dragons 5th ed scenario. So it's not like that. So that is what got me intrigued and what got me into wishlisting this game. So without further ado, we're going to start. We'll click on new, and then we're going to click on training. But before that, we're going to read these lines. Welcome, adventurer. You're about to die, and we salute you. The Age of Decadence is a very different game from what you've used to. Its world is harsh and unforgiving, and really doesn't take much to end up dead. In fact, it's painfully easy, especially if you try to play the game the way you normally play RPGs, like what I've said earlier. When you roleplay a mighty hero who's able to handle any challenge and smite evildoers by the dozens. In this game, combat is always extremely dangerous. It is the hardest way to handle quests and progress through the game, and even a couple of thugs can easily put an end to your adventure. Keep in mind that you are not expected to beat every fight you're offered. There is no shame in walking away if your character isn't a killing machine. Optional fights are usually the hardest, so don't jump at the first opportunity to be brutally murdered. The game isn't linear, and it's not about killing people. Be aware that many people will not hesitate to lie to you, steal from you, or betray you should they see fit. Use your head, be careful what you say, and always look out for yourself because no one else will. So we'll start. Okay, so here we go. This is our character, and this is a Centurion. So, I hear you want to be a hero. It's a tough gig these days, son, so you'd best adjust your expectations. Now, we've all heard tales of faraway lands where a hero can kill hundreds of men and all kinds of beasts in the blink of an eye. But here, if you go against 3 thugs and live to tell the tale, you should consider yourself lucky. Respect your enemies, son, and take each and every one seriously. They want to live, just as the same as you do, and they'll fight you tooth and nail for it. Still, every man has to fight for what's his sometime, so let's get to training. Okay, so let's click on Tell Me More. Rule number 1, if you can't hit a man, you can't kill him. Sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised at how many people neglect their weapon training and rely on blind luck instead. Rule number 2, if you can kill a man fast enough, you're giving him an opportunity to do you in. Especially if you brought friends to the fight. Different swords, for example, are good for different occasions. 2-handers can work miracles in some situations, but be nothing but a hindrance in others. Adapt or die. Rule number 3, defense. Dodging and blocking are your first line of defense. Of course, in the heat of battle, you don't have time to do both, so pick one and stick with it. Your armor is your second line of defense, but keep in mind that it can also slow you down. Pick one that's right for you. Before this, I'm going to check if I've activated my OBS. Oh yes, I did. So let's get on with it. Tell me about different attack types. You know how to swing a sword, right? Well, that's your normal attack. A good combination of speed and damage. Now say you're having a hard time hitting your opponent. Switch to faster attacks. You won't do as much damage, but you'll hit more often. If, however, your opponent is heavily armored, he's easy to hit but hard to get to. Switch to slower yet more powerful attacks. They're easier to dodge or block, but they pack quite a punch and will get the job done. Okay, what about aimed attacks? Aimed attacks are for tricky fighters. They take more skill. I mean, if you're aiming to open someone's artery, it takes a precision strike. Not the same as aiming in their general direction. The benefits are well worth it though. It goes without saying that a fight will become much easier when an opponent is knocked out cold. You're kinda odds, right? Nick his weapon arm and he won't be able to... Oh, so this is just like Battletech. So there's positional damage where if you damage his left arm, you can't use it anymore. If you damage his right leg, he's going to start to limp. So I hope it'll be like that. If so, this game is going to be really awesome. We're going to have a really good time with this one. As he did a moment ago, slash his thigh and he'll be limping for a while. Okay, so there you go. As you can see, there's quite a lot that you can do in fighting. It may seem overwhelming at first, but don't worry, it will come to you. What about special attacks? It's always good to have options. Being able to strike twice or 3 times in rapid succession, knock your opponent down, or hit several opponents at once, they all have their uses. What about critical strikes? You know, hitting where it really hurts. You'll have to split your time between weapon practice and learning anatomy, which might weaken you as a fighter. Same goes for studying alchemy or forging your own weapons. Oh, cool! It's a question of balance, skill, and knowledge. I've seen some bold fighters ignore defense and focus on weapon training and the art of dispatching their opponents quickly, but it's a risky style. I wouldn't recommend it for the beginners. Anything else? Well, there are nets, bolas, all kinds of alchemical concoctions, including liquid fire and black powder bombs. I'm sure they'll have plenty of time to experiment. I got it. Step aside, Grandpa. Okay, so right click for moving. Let's do that. There you go. Left click for interacting. Okay, ready for the real thing? Not yet. Tell me about... okay, not yet. Leave as more ready. There you go. Hold middle mouse button for rotating camera. There you go. Mouse wheel for zooming. WASD for moving camera. Q and E for rotating camera. Hover each button for tooltips. Inventory screen, character screen, help F1, journal, main menu. R for reloading a crossbow. We don't have that one yet. Or do we? Nope. Press F1 for gameplay help. Let's do that. Welcome to the Age of Decadence. If this is your first time playing the game, you might want to try the combat tutorial first to familiarize yourself with the different attack types and stat skills effect on combat. Bear in mind that combat is very challenging, especially the optional fights you can walk away from. For your first playthrough, we recommend not to spread your skill points too thin. If you're playing a fighter, stick with 2 to 3 combat skills until you understand the system better and how to do more with less. The odds are always against you, which might make you feel that you have to min-max to stand a chance, but you can easily gain an edge by using different tools the game gives you. Everything matters: attack type, weapon, armor, support items like nets or alchemical potions and vials, and even positioning. The following guide gives you a quick overview of the most important concepts of the Age of Decadence character, combat, crafting, and alchemy systems. Okay. Whoa, this is quite the page. There are 6 primary statistics defining a character's innate physical and mental abilities. Between them, they determine the starting combat and civic skill pools, bonus skill points awarded, derived stats, hit points and action points, combat initiative, as well as modifiers for accuracy and reputation. They also regularly check in dialogue and interactive text segments to allow access to specific gameplay options. Okay, so strength determines a character damage modifiers and maximum carry weight. Determines a character's action points and combat initiative. Determines a character's hit points and poison toxic resistance. Determines a character's accuracy modifiers and combat initiative. Determines a character's bonus skill points. Determines a character's reputation modifiers. So we have hit points. Determines how much damage a character can soak up before dying. You're dead if it reaches 0 or less. So HP is Constitution times 5 plus 10. Determines how many actions a character can make during a combat turn. So I think we'll model our character as a fighter. So we are going to have to max out the strength, dexterity, constitution, I think. And maybe throw in a smattering of intelligence points so we can have bonus skill points. Those are always useful. Please note that once determined during the character creation phase, your character's HP will not be... unlike many other RPGs, there are no character progression levels and the HP value is static throughout the game. Consider your decisions carefully. Okay, got that. The combat in Age of Decadence is turn-based, which means that each participant takes a turn and has a certain number of action points to use performing actions during each round. Once you enter a combat, the fastest or more perceptive or higher skilled combatant will get to act first. Okay. All weapons except for crossbows have fast, regular, and power attack options. Okay, so normal, standard attacks have no modifiers, cost less damage, cost 1 AP less, but are more difficult to avoid. Generally most effective against fast, lightly armored opponents. Okay, so this is self-explanatory. Aim attacks cost some extra APs, have different damage ranges to hit penalties, effects, and maybe have weapon class restrictions. Okay, a successful hit, knock out for 2 turns, and penalty to perception, a critical hit, reduced. Penalty to constitution on a critical hit. So awesome, this does have a positional damage system thing. Nice, nice. Swing. Okay. Double tap. Two-handed weapons except spears. Okay. Impale, flurry, multi-shot, burst. I think I'm starting to like this game. Jeebus, the amount of options. Awesome, awesome. Let's just hope that this tutorial will cover all these. Versatility of crossbows comes from the different designs available. One-handed, double shot, scope repeating with a magazine, etc. Unlike bows, crossbows have to be manually reloaded. You can right-click on a weapon to see the options available. You can also use your shield to bash enemies and push them away, feint to trade places with your opponents, throwing nets and bolas to entangle or even choke your enemies. Awesome. Critical strikes do more damage, of course. Okay. Can cause bleeding and even lower one. Okay. Likelihood of critical strikes is governed by the attacker's critical strike skill compared with the defender's. Versus critical score, which is the higher armor versus... Whoa. This is quite a mouthful. Okay, strikes to the head are compared to the higher of the helmet. Okay, so it's a quantity that stops. That lessens critical chances. This versus critical thing. Are all but decided by well-placed or lucky blows. Even if you're built like a tank, getting stabbed in the liver puts a crimp in anyone's style and longevity. Okay. All weapons have 3 important statistics: damage, range, attack speed, and action points, and reach. Additionally, crossbows have fire reload speed, and in some cases multi-shot capabilities. Some weapons have special abilities like ignoring shields or cutting into the enemy's armor more effectively, like this. 8 different types of weapon. Each type has its own passive trait that increases along with your skill with the weapon. The higher the skill, the higher the chance to score the special effects associated with your weapon. Oh, awesome. So let's keep this simple and let's not choose weapons that have requirements like daggers, which requires aim attacks. Man, this game. Interrupt attempts to close in. Awesome. It's just like the Overwatch mechanic in Warhammer 40k. I mean in Kill Team. I don't know if Warhammer 40k has it, but Warhammer 40k Kill Team does have it. A bonus to counter attack. Higher DR. Awesome. Armor doesn't increase your chance to avoid attacks. In fact, it makes hits more likely as it reduces your mobility and makes it harder to dodge incoming attacks. However, armor absorbs some of the damage from attacks when you fail to dodge or block an attack successfully. Basically, using armor trades dodge and action points for damage resistance. Different armor has different statistics, so you must consider carefully what your fighting style is and choose your equipment accordingly. Going for the heaviest armor and the biggest weapon may not be the best choice in the Age of Decadence. Okay, how much? Tier 6. Okay, without any harm to your character. Note the damage is reported in the info, which is also reported. Your armor can be damaged during attacks to resist such damage. So what? They do break down? Is that it? We'll see, we'll see. Okay. Okay. I think this is one of the more important stats. Of course. However, they do not add to overall defense. Oh! Only utilized when struck on the head. Not all opponents will aim attacks at the head, but leaving it unprotected will definitely be considered an open invitation by many more experienced and skilled opponents. So I wonder if the AI of this game acts accordingly. Like for example, if you're going up against brigands, will they recognize that, hey, this guy doesn't have any helmet, so let's attack that part of his anatomy? I don't know. So I am hoping that there is such a mechanic in the game. Okay, this is still the same. Okay. Used for blocking incoming strikes depending on a fighter's skill at blocking, and is an alternative to dodging attacks. Blocking is only used when holding a shield and having a block skill, which is greater than dodge. All shields have a DR, which is offset by a hit penalty. Any novice can hide behind a tower shield, but the shield strapped to their arm will slow them down and they won't be able to attack as effectively as they would have without the shield. There are times when dodge characters may want to consider using a shield for the defense against critical strikes. It gives them a range attacks, even with the associated armor and hit penalties. Okay, this is still the same. Yep. Shields provide superior protection against all range attacks, but certain weapons like... what's that? Pila? Oh. Awesome, awesome. All arrows and bolts have been combined into universal ammo. That's convenient. Originally, the game had arrows and bolts, but 3 different types, times 5 different metals, times various alchemy upgrades, times 2, was too much to manage, and one universal ammo was forged by the Elven Council. Okay. Armor piercing. Costs... okay, less damage, but... okay. Okay. This is just like those hollow point shells in first-person shooters that do have them. You can use the crafting system to create weapons and armors using schematics. A different matter. Okay. Awesome. This game is deep, like Mariana Trench deep. 5 different. Okay, bronze, iron, steel, blue steel, sky metal. Oh! Help you improve your weapon's passive ability further. The balance technique gives your weapon a THC bonus. So that's 2 characters from Dungeons and Dragons THACO back in 2nd ed or so. To craft an item, open your inventory and go to the crafting tab. There's a crafting tab, awesome. Drag it back to the invent. Okay, you can also decompose to get metal. How do you pronounce that? Ingots or components? The higher the skill, the less metal you lose. Awesome. I like this game's mechanics. Ooh! Look at all these things you can craft. Look at all those. Awesome. 7. Okay. Base reagent. For example, to create a basic bomb, you need the black powder. To create a fragmentation bomb that works better against armored opponents, you need to add iron balls. Ha 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 ha. So that's it for the F1 thing. So wait, does that finish our tutorial? What is this? Oh yeah, this is the chest that contains all those. So let's go with the default. DR3 armor harness. Yeah, let's go with the default. Let's close this one. And then, what are we going to do? Wait. Okay, the looting screen is divided into 3 parts. Your inventory is on the left. Okay, got that. Okay, got that. And now what do we do? Can we talk to these guys? We can't talk to these guys. So it's only the Centurion that we can talk to. So I think that's it for the tutorial. Right? So if you click on this again. But it doesn't say how you do faster attacks. So I think we'll have to go to the options screen. And then controls. Okay, tab, highlight interactive objects. That's tab. There you go. Select fast attack. That's 1, 2, and 3. Reload last ammo. So I think that's everything we need to know. Space is start combat. Map screen, inventory. What is combat? Wait. Oh man. Anyway. I was born ready. Start a new game. The tutorial alone cost us 20 minutes. So we still have 30. Welcome to the Age of Decadence. If you want to disable this tutorial, simply check the Don't Show Again box and close this window. You can move the tutorial window by dragging the title bar. Click Next to continue. If this is your first time playing the game, you might want to try the combat tutorial first to familiarize yourself with the different attack types and stat skills effect on combat. Bear in mind that combat is very challenging, especially optional fights you can walk away from. Name your character, choose a gender, and select a background. The backgrounds are on classes. They don't restrict or guide a character's future attributes or skills. Your chosen background determines how your game starts, your place in the world, as well as the starting values for your reputation with various factions. Finally, you can customize your character appearance. Note if you select another background, the appearance options will be reset. So we'll have to choose the background first before we customize the character. Once you're happy with the choices, click Next to proceed to the next screen and allocate your character's stat and skill points. Okay. So background first. Let's choose a woman. I've always found that staring at a dude it's kind of boring rather than, you know, seeing a badass female fighter go gallivanting across the landscape. Now that's something else. Okay, when diplomacy fails, assassination is often the only recourse. Renowned and respected for their ability to resolve disputes with the least amount of bloodshed, cloaked by the shadows of the night, assassins are in high demand amongst all strata of society. Blood is blood. I don't want to. I don't want to be a thief. Okay. Okay. So the tutorial did say that it won't affect the skills, right? It's just the reputation. Whoa. So why would I choose a background that... Okay, so there's a negative too. We don't want to be enemies with other factions, so let's choose the one that has the highest number of Imperial Guards, -7. So House Aurelian, House Crassus, House Daratan, Boatman of Styx, Commercium, Imperial Guards, 111. That's 333. Whoa. 6. So should we choose... Okay, so the appearance has changed too. So I think we'll choose Lore Master. Skin. Okay, so this just... It's not really that complex of a... hair. What? Still looks like a guy. Every choice still... okay. Let's pick red. Circlet. Okay, so let's finalize our choices. Oh, all backgrounds except Drifter have default stats. They're merely suggestion for the selected background to give you an idea of what works. If you have a better idea, feel free to change the stats as you see fit. There are 6 primary stats defining a character's innate physical and mental abilities. Between them, they determine the starting combat and civic skill pools, bonus skill points awarded, derived stats, combat initiative, as well as modifiers for reputation. They're also checked in dialogue and interactive text segments to allow access to specific... Oh. Okay. For your first playthrough, we recommend not to spread your skill points too thin. If you're playing a fighter, stick with 2 to 3 combat skills, 1 weapon skill, dodge or block, and a support skill like critical strike, alchemy, or crafting. Until you understand the system better and how to do more with less. Combat odds are almost always against you. Okay, this is repeated. This has been mentioned in the tutorial already. But what if I want a lore master that's more combat oriented? That's still possible, right? Hard to master in your first run. Okay. Okay, yeah, I got that. So I think we'll just go back and pick this one. Thief. Whoa, he's got a floating dagger. Awesome. Dark skin. And then here you go. Dexterity, Constitution. So we'll make this a dump stat. Whoa, minus 15. That's huge. %. What is this? Accuracy okay. So this is so important for combat. This can still be applied in melee, right? For all weapons. Okay. Attack, defense. How about that? 876775. And then we can do anything about these. What are these highlighted things? Unskilled. You have absolute faith in the goodness of your fellow men. What? You can write your own name. Block. Combat skill points is 45. So let's just If we increase this... Okay. So every time you level up, the requirements increases. So dodge is... So let's increase the dodge thing. It's a jump to the left and then a step to the right. There you go. 13% chance. I'd rather offense first, right? There you go. And then here... So let's not concentrate on these, because we're clearly unskilled in these. Trading. Wait, all of these are unskilled. But what's with the highlighted ones? Etiquette, persuasion, streetwise. Okay, so let's keep it simple. We'll imagine our fighter to be she can very well repair her stuff. So let's put 2 here. There you go. Hardened armor and shields. And then click on this one. Okay. You're gonna go deal in those magic beans, really? What? So yeah, there you go. And then accept. The world and an empire that once ruled it lie in ruins. Noble houses that lorded over provinces and commanded vast armies have been reduced to broken city-states. The Imperial Guard, remnants of the Imperial Army, acts as a deterrent to open warfare. The knowledge of the old days has been all but forgotten. Hucksters peddle ancient wares of no value to the ignorant, and the lords seek and hoard artifacts they barely understand. A fanatical mysticism is slowly gaining favor, and long-held resentments are rising to the surface. Some speculate that another war approaches. Others actively encourage it. Times like these bring nothing but suffering for the common man. However, they offer a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to those determined to seize the moment and follow it to riches, power, glory, and often an untimely death. Your adventure starts in Tehran, a small crumbling town far away from the main tracks of travelers and caravans. It's been dying for the last 100 years or so, kept alive only by the combined efforts of its inhabitants. Broken stonework has been replaced by makeshift wooden construction, creating the impression that a new town is slowly emerging from the ruins of the old one. Much like Tehran, the noble house controlling the town has seen better days. Before the war that toppled the Empire and the devastation that ensued, House Daratan was one of the most powerful houses. But that was then, and times have changed. Today, it barely has enough strength to maintain its hold over the local guilds. And yet, when you were offered to serve House Daratan, you dropped on your knees and swore fealty, grateful for being noticed and elevated above your status. When Lord Antidus told you to rise, and you slowly got up, holding your head high for the first time, and looking at the other praetors as peers, you were overwhelmed with a sense of purpose and power. Okay. You stand in the Hall of Antidus, signs of wealth and power all around you. Wherever you look, you see exotic tapestries and paintings, rare vases, gleaming statues. Ornate pillars run the length of the hall, all the way to the throne itself, where Lord Antidus is waiting. Okay, 2 camera modes, follow the character, free movement in the options menu. I kind of like the free camera movement. You can rotate by holding the middle mouse button. Use the mouse wheel. Okay, got that. Left click on them. If you press tabs, icons. Okay. So let's press tab. Nothing? Nothing. Lord Antidus is the current and most likely the last lord of House Daratan. It was prophesied that he would be the last leader to restore Daratan to its original glory, and unwavering in his faith in the prophecy, Antidus undertook many daring attacks against Daratan's enemies. Unfortunately for both Antidus and his house, the prophecy failed to live up to its end of the bargain with disastrous consequences for House Daratan. With the loss of a fort and 2 entire legions, Antidus' domain was reduced to a crumbling town and a small regiment of guards, while the prospects of glory slowly faded away. Hail to you, Juno! Have you heard of the murder yet? Oh my god, we forgot to change the name. Traders are slaughtering each other over a handful of coins they can make in this town. Usually, I don't concern myself with such trivial matters, but the man who was killed was bringing me a tribute, an artifact to buy my protection with. It must be recovered. Okay, so let's ask what we're looking for. It's a map. The trader sent me a letter requesting an audience. The letter mentioned an ancient map that, as he put it, would interest me greatly. At once, my lord. You enter the Commercium's richly decorated halls. Everywhere you look, you see signs of wealth, from the rich tapestries lining the walls to the gilded vases and intricately carved stonework. If money is power, then the interiors are designed to convey the message that the Commercium is a very powerful guild. Okay. Linus the Skull owed his nickname to his appearance and his appearance to the decades of service to the Merchants Guild. It was that service that changed an enthusiastic youth with blue eyes and wavy auburn hair into a dispassionate old man with a bald head and cold, almost colorless eyes sitting deep within the dark sockets. Business to Linus was a board game. He moved pieces and executed strategies without taking any human element into consideration. A good opportunity shouldn't be missed solely because some people were standing in the way. Linus' lips twist into something resembling a welcoming smile. To what do I owe this unexpected pleasure? Unexpected? You should have expected this pleasure when you decided to kill the traitor. As it turns out, he was bringing a gift for the old man and he wants it back. I understand. I'll have it delivered to Lord Antidus within the hour. Anything else I can help you with? Lord Antidus wants To make it a memorable experience, a lesson must be taught. Okay, so it's going to be combat immediately? Linus' lips twist again. This too will be arranged. A gift and a head of one of my not so lucky associates will be delivered to your master. Okay, so we've got two choices. This one has been made possible by a secret roll, and it was a successful one. So streetwise, I don't want the head of some beggar dressed in the merchant's robes for the occasion. Bring me the one who arranged the hit. Okay, so it's a failure. Trust me, Juno. I wouldn't even think of playing games with House Daratan. Okay, very well. Please accept this small gift for being so understanding. What are friends for, Linus? Okay, so we're back. Well done! Linus delivered the map himself, along with a generous gift and some poor bastard's head. Looks like the message hit home. You're an efficient woman, Juno. With the right guidance, you will go far. Not many people understand that lessons that aren't taught in blood are soon forgotten. He takes up his ring and hands it to you. You gain a new insight which can be used to increase your skills. 17 skill points gained. Awesome. Thank you, my lord. Do you believe in destiny, Juno? Before you have a chance to answer, Antidas continues. I've spent more than a decade trying to find the temple and fulfill the prophecy. I've wasted a fortune and lost more men than I dared to admit. And just when I've decided to give up, another map shows up. Coincidence? I don't believe in them. It is said that every man is given a chance to change his fate, to ascend to greatness and immortality, to rise above the ordinary and serve a cause greater than self-interest. Fate guided you to the map, and it will guide you to the temple. The temple? The prophecy? Another map? All in due time. I want to see how you handle a more challenging task. Talk to Delar. I will, my lord. Okay, so let's leave. So who the hell is Delar? Okay. Just the woman I've been looking for, says Delar in a tone suggesting that you're the first person he ran into. Did Casius arrive yet? Who the hell is Casius? The new lore master. I finally convinced the old man to get rid of that weasel Fang and get someone better. Casius was highly recommended. So, tell Fang that his services are no longer required, and if you see Casius at the inn, bring him here. Okay, so let's pay Fang a visit. So achievement unlocked, Praetor. Awesome. So let's... How do you spend that character screen? There you go. We have 17 skill points. So we'll... Trading... Seven. No. Traps, what is this? Distribute your SP if you have any. You gain your combat SP from killing your enemies in civil. Okay. 3 to 4 skills. Start branching out later in the game when you get more comfortable. 3 to 4. Okay, we got that. So we are going to... So I think we're going to focus on crafting, persuasion, and then lockpick and sneak so that we can potentially evade encounters that we don't need. So just pick these two. So we'll reserve the 7 skill points for another time. Another time that we can increase these 4 that we've chosen. Okay, so that's it, and then we'll save. Retroburn 1. Retroburn 1. There you go. So this is Fangs. Don't sell prices. Come and see Fang first. In a world on its way downhill, the future lies in preserving the pre-war knowledge. Lore masters, the self-proclaimed experts on the antiquity, are at the front line of this trade, digging through ruins, copying ancient manuscripts, trading bits and pieces of the pre-war knowledge, and embracing. Okay, so this is Fang. Fang came to Tehran with a caravan 2 decades ago. Nobody knew where he came from or why, but he had the bitterness of a man soured by the memory of the life he lost. He was well versed in languages and the antiquities, but the town already had a lore master. Fortunately for Fang, this lore master soon fell sick and passed away, despite the best efforts of the local alchemist, who was quite puzzled by his symptoms. Shortly thereafter, Fang became the new lore master, and even earned the favor of Lord Antidus after discovering a number of Daratan relics. Lord Antidus praetors are always a welcome sight in my humble abode. What does my lord require? You have but to name it. Okay, so I don't want to dismiss this guy, but let's make it easy for our character. What has this faithful servant done that displeased our lord so greatly? Inquires Fang dramatically. Who shall advise our lord in matters that are beyond the understanding of most men? Who shall protect him from unseen dangers? So let's answer with Casius. Young Casius, what does he know? You have to study ancient manuscripts for decades, pouring every word and contemplating its meaning. Decades, praetor. Don't tell me you believe he's fit for such an important job. Okay, what I believe is irrelevant. Irrelevant? You are a praetor, not a chambermaid. What if Lord Antidus, in all his infinite wisdom, has made a horrible mistake? Isn't it your job to correct it, thus ensuring his well-being? You expect me to go against my lord's will? You have much to learn, Juno. You can achieve quite a lot with subtlety. For instance, what if Casius were to disappear? Wouldn't it solve all our problems? What indeed? Why, you would... So let's click on this. Me? I am our lord's humblest servant, and it's not my place to question his decisions. But if I were to question it for you, you'd probably shower me with gold, wouldn't you? I would if I were a wealthy man. Unfortunately, I'm anything but. Still, in my joy, I'm sure I will be able to find 100 Imperials. Okay. Okay, now what do we do? What do we do? Wait. What is this? Journal screen. He should be waiting at the inn. Okay, let's go there. So where is the inn? Map. Fang. Okay, so it's directly across. Right here, right? Trading Plaza. Wait. I think we've got it all wrong. There's a street. So I think it's right across. It's here, right? As you walk down the street, you see a young woman running from a drunken mercenary. "Please, you must help me," cries the girl, grabbing your arm pleadingly. The mercenary takes another step toward her, and the girl darts behind you as if to shield herself from him. "The bitch owes me money," yells the mercenary. "8 imperials. Who's gonna pay me? You?" Okay, so let's pay him. "Fair is fair, right?" says the mercenary, counts the money and walks away. The poor girl hugs you, sobbing on your shoulder and mumbling words of gratitude. So we didn't get anything from that? Nope. Wait, we are leaving the town's wall. The map is quite confusing. In. Okay, so we can just click on it. You see the local inn. It's a large old building in the middle of the town. The sign in front of it welcomes weary travelers and offers an impressive variety of services at reasonable rates. You look like you're in the market for some fine clothing and armor, am I right? Step right up and take a look. No, we won't be stealing. Browse his wares. Okay, so we already have the finest garments with the most. Circlet, gold ring with a small ruby. Can you trade this? I don't think our gold increased. What? Okay, wait. Oh, we have DR 0, armor hardness 0, max AP 12. Okay, so this is just largely useless. Max AP 12. Sneak penalty. Hardness 10. AP 12. Zeros versus critical 30. That's quite awesome. Oh, 40. How much is this? 125. There you go. And then... Wait, how do you change weapons? One-handed, 5 to 8. Speed. Oh, we don't want to trade that one. DR4. Doesn't have any shields. Helmet. DR5. 60. THC penalty 8. Hmm. 37 gold. Okay. And then auxiliary armor. Can we wear this over our current one? I'm not sure, so I'm not going to buy that one. What is this? 112 gold. It's quite expensive. Okay, I think this is all for this session right here. Wait, why am I naked? What? Okay, there you go. Armor. Cloak. And then damage 5 to 8, speed AP 3, 6 to 9, hardness, THC bonus 3%. What's a passive value bonus? Let's use this. There you go. Oh, there's something wrong with the way the characters handles weapons. Okay, so maybe we should just buy that, what do you call this, 93 gold. Yeah, sure, let's buy all of them. Wait, we don't have money. And then let's... there you go. So let's go inside. Wait, let's save first. And then after this, we're going to end the video because we've already consumed an hour. Okay, so where is... the inn is full of guests. After spending weeks and sometimes months on the road, they have an unhealthy appetite for cheap wines, cooked meals, and women willing to share their beds for a few coins. So where is Casius? There you go. But first off, let's chat with... You see the inn's patrons begin to gather around a strangely garbed man who paces in circles muttering. A murmur of expectation runs through the room, and sure enough, the man stops his pacing, turns, and with a dramatic flourish cries out, "A tale!" All are quiet now, but the man's rich, deep voice rolls out to fill the silence. "A tale for tonight's entertainment. And what a tale! History itself will unfold before your very eyes. A tale of mystery and wonder. Come one, come all, and listen." Okay, so let's stay and listen. The smile drops from the storyteller's face. His brow gathers into a frown, and he begins to speak in a low, somber tone. The Great War raged across the Empire. The frenzied Cantari burning and looting their way across the land. Our brave legions fighting to stem the tide. But though they could hold the Cantari themselves, even they were no match for the terrible demons the Cantari had brought with them from their homeland. Our loyal soldiers were slaughtered by the thousands. The Emperor's Magi sought to counter the terrible might of the demons with their magics, but even though they worked feverishly to devise new spells, it was of no use. The demons shrugged off every incantation the Magi hurled at them. Desperate for solution, the Emperor summoned Abu Hassan ibn Haddad al-Sarabi, the first of the Magi, to his side in the holiest of chambers, deep under the palace. "Oh, learned one, tell me," said the Emperor. "Tell me that you have found a solution, O wisest of my servants. Tell me that you have discovered some weakness in the accursed Kantari demons. Tell me how we can destroy these monsters who feel no pain, no fear, who never tire or rest." And Abu Hassan ibn Haddad did stroke his beard gravely. The storyteller stops to mime Ibn Haddad's gesture, folding his arms, looking thoughtful, and stroking an imaginary beard to the chuckles of the audience before continuing, and said to his emperor, "We must seek allies." The emperor looked at Ibn Haddad in bewilderment. "Allies? What allies can we call upon? The empire stretches from coast to coast. All men except the steppe nomads rallied to fight under my banner. There are no more allies to call on." "Mortal allies, yes. But there are other worlds than this one, my emperor. Higher than the eye can see, and further than any man can travel, there are strange and bewildering realms. Realms for which the rigid laws of our reality are merely suggestions. If we could persuade the beings who reside in those realms to come to our aid..." The emperor sat for a moment, considering, but always he returned to that inescapable truth that the empire was dying around him. How many of these beings would answer our call? And would they be enough? The demons are terrible in their power. "I have ridden the paths of the future in my dreams, and I have seen 3 who would come to our aid. Together, their might is a match for the demons," answered Ibn Haddad confidently. The emperor cast his hands in the air, hope alight in his face for the first time. "Truly the world is wondrous. You have my blessing, Magus. Go forth and call up these allies. All the resources of the empire are at your disposal." Ibn Haddad returned to his tower and once again traveled the paths of the future. For 3 days and 3 nights he quested. When at last he emerged, he summoned a great conclave of his brothers. There he ordered them to build a great doorway, a path into the realm that cannot be reached by land or by sea. Working together, the Magi built the doorway that would have taken mortal men months and mere weeks, though many died of the exertion. When it was done, Ibn Haddad blessed the doorway himself and ordered one of the brothers through as an emissary to the other realms. Patiently they waited for the emissary to return, and return he did a day later. But when they attempted to talk to him, he seemed unable to recognize anyone, and had lost the very power of speech itself. Undeterred, Ibn Haddad sent forth another emissary, and then a third, when the same fate befell that one. But it was of no use. None could speak of what they had seen through the doorway. At last, Ibn Haddad sent them away and returned to his tower, to travel the paths of the future one last time. When he returned to his brothers, he appeared visibly aged, bent, and leaning on his staff of office. But he had an answer. He had his brothers forge him a helmet of the finest crystal, weaving potent magic through and around it. Then Ibn Haddad did take the helmet and place it upon his own head. And though his brothers begged him not to, did stride through the gate himself. The storyteller stops for a moment, surveying his audience. All eyes are on him, the audience held rapt by his story. He smiles slightly, then continues. For 7 days and 7 nights his brethren held vigil before the doorway. But on the 8th day, as most had given him up for lost, Ibn Haddad returned. When his brothers questioned him as to why he had been gone so long, he seemed shocked that so much time had passed. But thoughts of the demons weighed heavily upon him. He brushed aside their questions and announced that he had made a deal with those who dwell in the darkness on the other side of the doorway. The lords of that place had agreed to send 3 of their number to aid the empire. In exchange, 7 times 7 men would go through the doorway to honor the lords in the realm. 7 times 7 were chosen to follow Ibn Haddad back through the doorway to the other worldly realms, and true to their word, a week later, He returned with 3 of the lords accompanying him. Of the other men who accompanied him, there was no sign. The storyteller stops talking and bows, looking expectantly at the audience. "The war!" yells one of the guests. "Tell us about the war! Tell us how the lords of the other realms cast down the Cantari demons." The storyteller straightens again and raises an eyebrow at the man, smiling like a benevolent uncle teaching lessons to a favored nephew. 100 tales I could tell you of the Great War, and still we would have but scratched the surface. Some sages will tell you that the old empire was destined to fall from the day it was born, that the very moment of its ending was written in the stars themselves, that empires and kingdoms, like mortal man, grow tall and enjoy their time in the sun for but a brief moment before they too must pass, to make way for those that follow. Thus, sages will tell you that the Cantari kingdom was born for but a single purpose, to be the instrument of fate and bring about the destruction of the old empire when the time was right. That by growing stronger, so did we force the Cantari themselves to grow stronger. For it was their destiny to bring us down, you see, and fate ensured that they were strong enough to do so. That is why the demons came. Our legions could hold the savage Cantari at bay, but even they couldn't fight fate, couldn't fight the demons who shrugged off blade and arrow, who slaughtered all that were sent against them, countless lives. That is why, though Ibn Haddad and his allies came and defeated the demons, the old empire could not be saved. The old empire had already fallen, for that was always her fate, to die there that day, in blood and fire. Okay, so we have 4 choices. So I'm really intrigued about those 3 that came with Ibn Haddad. Much has been written on the subject of the High Lords, too much I'd say. The accounts contradict each other. The High Lords were here. No, they were there. No, they did this and that. One even begins to suspect that many of the authors weren't actually present at the events they speak of, and with such authorities. Ha! So how did they defeat the Cantari then? Surely there must be some agreement on that. What did they do for our legions and Magi couldn't? What did they do that our legions and Magi couldn't? On that, the stories are silent. They talk at length on the powers of the High Lords, that Glaath, the dreamer, could shape reality as easily as you or I run our hands through water. That wherever Barhathor, the Flame Walker, went, the ground itself burned in his wake and flowed like water. And that Thor Goth was known as the Artificer, and he constructed devices such as we can but dream of. Terrible engines and alien machines beyond the understanding of mere men. The stories are unanimous on these details, yes, but of how the High Lords actually defeated the Cantari demons, I am afraid they are silent. Perhaps only Ibn Haddad, first of the Magi, knew that. Okay, so what can you tell me of the Cantari? Well, all I can tell you is that what those stories say, my friend, that they were savages from across the sea, jealous and obsessed with destroying our glorious civilization. What more could you expect from a race that worshipped demons? Some say that they made pacts with demons to grant their warriors greater strength in battle, breeding them with the beasts of the forest to create half-man, half-animals. I shudder to imagine it. And shudder he does, shaking himself with an expression of horror on his face. It's convincing enough that you almost believe it wasn't rehearsed. Almost. So those savages and animal half-men, they defeated the might of the old empire? Do not dismiss them, my friend. They numbered in the tens of thousands for all their lack of sophistication, and they brought their magi and their demons with them. As I said, it was their destiny to destroy the empire, and our destiny to fall. You cannot fight your fate. The storyteller smiles at your question, turning to accept a drink the innkeeper brings him. raising the flagon in salute of his host. He throws his head back and drinks deeply. After a long moment, he stops, sighs contentedly, and then turns his attention back to you, wiping the foam from his mouth. Ah, thirsty work this. Now, what was it you were asking? Do I believe in the demons they say the Kantari unleashed on the old empire? Well, look around you, my friend. He waves his hand in a circle, but you sense he isn't simply talking about the inn, that his gesture encompasses the entirety of the fallen empire. What do you see, friend? Ruins, destruction, the rotting carcass of the greatest empire ever to grace this world. What mere mortal force could have brought that down? No, the stories must be true. Only demons could have done such a thing. You know, this whole thing reminds me of Raymond E. Feist's Rift War series. All those talks of portals and enemies that use demons and stuff. So let's talk to Casius. Wait, maybe we can buy something from the alchemist. I stares at you and following, but then you realize he has a glass eye, his face and hands are covered with burn scars, and unless you're mistaken, he's missing a couple of fingers on his left hand. What do you want? A base item to be the plant. With me so far? You can throw in another regent to modify or change the original recipe completely. Choose wisely and all that. Okay, so let's read this in the next Let's Play. But for now, let's go to Casius. 42-year-old lore master Casius, contemptuously called the young Casius by his gray-haired colleagues, has never understood the appeal of digging through dirt and ruins like a rat. Instead, he preferred to spend his time among neatly preserved scrolls, studying the work of many prominent lore masters of the antiquity and hundreds of accompanying commentaries he considered indispensable. Master Casius was working on his second tractate, analyzing manifestation of the divine will, in year 4052, when Antiochus' emissaries invited him to Tehran. Is there something you want? Yeah, let's do this. Should be fun. Casius looks around in confusion. What is this hovel? Explain yourself immediately. So let's do this. Let's do the non-violent approach. Let's hope this guy will cooperate. Yes, of course I do if you let me go. Okay, so let's scare him. You step closer to Casius and let him see you for what you are. A remorseless killer. You look at him until you can feel his fear, until Casius understands how close he came to dying, and that no money in the world is worth decades of his unlived life. Then you start talking. If I let you go... But if I let you go... You'll probably do something stupid. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking there's some way around this, that if you can get away, get to your people, they can protect you. Everyone thinks that. Right up to the end, when they're looking up at me, choking on their own blood, they still think someone's going to come and save them. But no one does. And no one will save you if you cross me. Do you understand? I do, says Casius quietly. I understand. I'll leave, I promise. Okay, so that has been dealt with. Did that encounter leave us with... No? Nope. So what do we do now? Journal, right? Leaving Tehran. Feng should be glad to hear that. Okay, so let's go back to Tehran. So let's get out of this place. Wait, let's press tab. Nothing to interact with here, right? Nope, so let's just go to the door. Back at Fang's house. So let's just talk to Fang and then end this vid. Lord Antiochus' praetors are always a welcome sight in my humble abode. What does my lord require? You have but to name it. Okay, so let's ask about Ibn Haddad al-Sarabi. Who hasn't? Storytellers compete with each other, inventing new tales every year. Ibn Haddad was a magus, and not just any magus, but the first of their lot, which means that anything goes. No tale is too fanciful, apparently. What do you think? What do I think? The empire collapsed on his watch, and that's what I think. All his vast powers weren't enough to stop it. In the stories, Ibn Haddad outsmarts the demons, overcomes all challenges, and always saves the day. Unfortunately, the world we live in is a testament to the fact that he was just a man. Just like the rest of us, he could only do so much. Guess let's ask something else. What would you like to know, Praetor? Cassius is no longer a problem. So young Cassius is gone, and will bother us no more. Good riddance, I say. Such a pompous ass that boy was. Here's the money I promised. But I owe you a lot more than what I paid you. You must forgive an old man his habits, so I'd like you to take a look at this. Feng carefully unwraps a small bundle and shows you a ring. It's a heavy silver ring covered with softly glowing runes. Ooh! While the metal feels cold to touch, the glowing runes burn your fingertips. It's the famous magic ring of General Galbo, explains Feng. The ring was crafted by the Council of Magi to grant the general special powers, which made him unstoppable in battle. After the general's death, the ring was thought to be lost and hasn't been seen for centuries. Isildur lost it. It is, without a doubt, one of the most important relics of the Empire, and its reappearance is a great omen. I'd give it to you for free, but I'm a poor old man. 100 Imperials is all I'm asking for it. What the hell, so he gives me money, and then he asks back. What? Okay, so... yeah, let's do that. The ring is yours, Juno. I can tell you that you're destined for great things. The heavenly kingdom of Jin, where else? The locals are convinced that their empire had conquered what they call the known world. I can assure you that is not the case, although they did their best to turn it into a wasteland. Charisma failure. Anger flares in Feng's eyes, but he manages to control himself. It was so long ago, I can hardly remember, he says with a fake smile. He's leave it alone. And so, yeah, we have two. Wait, where's that? You gain a new insight which can be used to increase your skills. 2 skill points gained. But if I click here... Wait. Where is that? There's no skill points, what? Okay. Okay, so 7 plus 2 is 9. Okay, I forgot about this one. So it's still not enough. I still lack one more. Because, yeah, I'm going to follow what the game told us. That for your first time, you should just focus on 4. So I'm going to focus on 5. Persuasion, crafting, trading, lockpick, and sneak. But for each of these, we need one more for us to level up. So we can't afford it. So we'll just save here. So yeah, this has been Retroburn, and you've seen me play the Age of Decadence. It's quite interesting. It's quite a very, very deep RPG. Perhaps the deepest RPG I've so far played. So if you want me to continue this Let's Play, guys, please like this, share, comment. Comment is important. I would like to know your thoughts if whether or not it's worth it to continue this one. But if not, I'm going to move on to other random round videos. So this has been Retroburn. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Would go a long way in supporting my efforts to produce more videos for you, my fellow PC gamers. Stay cool, stay frosty.